So in this next session, I want to look at India's pharmaceutical industry and how it is playing a role in providing affordable, quality medicine. I want us also to examine the role of the UAE, given that recent economic partnership that we have heard about. What does it mean when it comes to the pharma trade, and particularly when it comes to improving access to essential drugs in emerging economies? So please welcome my panel. Let me introduce you to them. Yeah, please take a seat.
Can you hear? On or not?
Yeah. Let me introduce next to me here, Madhukar Tanna, who is the Chief Executive of Resurgene. We have Bhanu, who is the Director General of Pharmaceuticals Export Promotion Council of India. And there on the end, Namit Joshi, who is the Director of Centrient Pharmaceuticals. Really good to have you all here. Thank you so much. Bhanu, let me maybe start with you and paint me a picture, if you will, right now of what that trade between the UAE and India, when it comes to pharmaceuticals, really looks like.
Yeah, I think, let me thank IGF for calling me, myself and Namit from Pharmaceuticals and also from the Centrient India. You all know that India is now the pharmacy of the world, exporting almost like their drugs to 200 countries. We are a 53 billion sector, and out of that, almost this last financial year, it was 27.85 billion USD has been exported to as many as 200 countries and all. Out of that, I think, of course, UAE is also a part of that one. And as a GCC and all, it's a 15 billion market, but after that, generics are 4.6 billions, and out of that, UAE, almost like we've grown at about 34% and all, from 406 millions to 495 and all, in that sense. And this year, from April to October, also there is a growth of 16% for the UAE and all. That's how it is, the trade between India and UAE.
And it really does underline the significance of that trade. And
the third partner, largest third partner, UAE is, of course, the trade partner with India.
Yes, and that is important to highlight,
That's
isn't it?
important.
And Namit, maybe then talk to me about the CEPA deal, because what difference does that make in very practical terms? You know, it's easy to look at images of people signing bits of paper. What does it mean in reality?
Okay, thank you, Ben, so much for throwing this question on me. I would like to thank IGF for having us on the board. Your question on CEPA, I think the taste of the pudding lies in eating, and just dropping a figure like from 2019 till 2023, our CAGR, compounded annual growth rate with UAE was -2%. And financial year 2024, it went up to 23% positive. So it's clear sign and symptom that if you enter into a comprehensive economic partnership, this is the outcome of that, because what we did was we tried to manage, come out of the regulatory hassles, certain transactional hassles, and certain robustness on supply chain networking, and also the potential of finding UAE as a gateway for a lot of business development activity in certain regions like GCC and Africa. So I think CEPA from here is going to consolidate further, and we see an immense potential in the region because of CEPA also, that we can scale up to billions of dollars from here now.
And Madhukar, let me bring you in at this point, because CEPA is all about collaboration, isn't it? It's about people working together, and it sounds easy, you know, in theory. What does it mean in practice? What is the benefit to both countries, and what does that collaboration look like?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. So as a manufacturer, I can speak about CEPA allowed number of obstacles to go away. Ministry of Health Prevention opened up the doors for Indian manufacturers to come to Dubai. I've been here for the last 25 years, and in last 5 years, since CEPA has been implemented, not 5, maybe 4 to 5 years, amount of Indian companies who have set up their operations have gone phenomenally. I can name top 10 companies which were not there before in Dubai. Now they have a regional hub, regional offices. Secondly, the quality has not been compromised by signing CEPA. So every Indian company cannot just enter the country, which is one of the good things UAE has maintained. They have not compromised their regulatory standard because of CEPA, but they have encouraged those Indian companies who maintain a good quality to come to Dubai faster. So today, if you look at Sun Pharma or Zydus or many other companies are able to enter faster UAE market, which earlier was not possible. So I think SEPA has been a great boost to also own. Now the Indian companies are encouraged to own the intellectual property here and do the trading, do as a regional base from Dubai to rest of the region as well. So SEPA has opened up quite a few opportunities.
If I quickly add to what Manoj has already mentioned, since India is having almost like 748 US FDA sites, not from the US and all, not out of the US actually, and EU also 348 sites and all. And what he has rightly mentioned that with the SEPA and all, the drugs which can be registered on an expedited process or a fast track process is that those products which are already approved and registered in stringent regulatory agencies like US, Europe, Canada, and all those things and all. That's how exactly the way it has paved the way for expedited registration process and get the high quality products to the UAE at the affordable cost and all.
Yeah, and it's those practical changes that make such a big difference. And we were talking there about the UAE being a manufacturing hub. Talk to me about the importance of that. That this will be a viable place to not only trade and to operate and train, but also to manufacture.
Yeah. So see, it has to come in a phased manner. Like right now, it's more of a trading partnership, wherein UAE has its own domestic consumption, and also we want to use this gateway for trading in Africa. Like we are losing our footprints in Africa only because the forex dynamics, the foreign currency dynamics, dollar versus the euro currency, is not letting the access of medicine to each and every individual out in Africa. That way we foresee a strong partnership emerging out of UAE, like wherein the Indian pharmaceutical manufacturers sell it to UAE, and then UAE trade this product back to Africa.
And why is it important that there is that sort of middleman?
Sorry,
why is it important that the UAE is there in the middle in that relationship?
So the transaction, if it has to happen with Africa, between India and Africa, I think the access, the route, the port, supply chain, logistic, and the finances, there are a lot of challenges into all these four fronts. And if it is routed through UAE, which has a tremendous potential of becoming the hub for GCC as well as Africa, then I think financially the Indian manufacturers are protected because the transaction invoice is being raised on UAE, and UAE already has a strong footprint in Africa. So we want to leverage that opportunity which UAE has through our quality manufacturing in India, so that all these financial limitations can be addressed very well through UAE for these regions.
And yeah, I'll come to you in one sec. Bhanu, I want to ask you about the safety implications as well, because look, there's been very well documented issues, hasn't there? Does this agreement help address some of those issues, particularly around the safety of medicines that are going from India via the UAE into Africa?
No, I couldn't get it.
Safety.
About the safety.
Safety of the products.
Concerns over safety of the medicines.
Manufacturing in India and
yes.
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, we could not have been having this footprint in 200 countries and all. Maybe there are some concerns which has been raised in 2022 and all. But still, of course, that in the African countries and all, what has been mentioned and all. I think later, as a government and all, we have worked it all with respect to the regulatory aspect, the entire supply chain aspects, and the quality aspects. And the provisions have been now a notch higher than what it is now. And definitely they are matching with the WHO GMP standards of all the provisions and all. The entire supply chain could able to track and trace and all those things and all. And we could able to address those issues with respect to those particular thing which has been happened with respect to an excipients only. It's not with the active ingredient which has happened. So now that has been addressed, and now you couldn't see one complaint after that incident and all. And you could able to see that in Africa and all, it has already grown from almost like 3.65 billion STL, and now it has 3.95. And the last April to October, we have grown up to 2.31 billion. We have already done. It's almost like 3.3% growth was already registered. I think maybe by this financial year ending and all, we could reach what it was earlier also.
I just want to add, you asked about what is a practical implication in UAE.
Yes.
So I can give you two examples which are so relevant. One of the largest healthcare / pharmaceutical company, Himalaya Drugs, have shifted their base to Dubai and have put up a state-of-the-art facility in Dubai, which is exporting to a number of countries. The products which are made here are going to go to the rest of the world from here. So UAE has played a very important role in attracting the local manufacturing. I was one of the co-founder of a company called Pharmaceuticals here in Dubai. That was the first pharmaceutical company in Dubai Science Park, EU approved. So we could export medicines made in Dubai in any other parts of the Europe. What happened was that made the UAE made-in products became very attractive for the local healthcare, for the people over here, but as well regionally. So there are many new technologies that have come in UAE post-CEPA.
Yeah, and as you said, as the first EU-approved manufacturer here in Dubai, the Science Park, what has changed since then? You sort of set the way back then. What has changed now?
What has changed? If I give you a context in terms of percentage of the market, 20 years ago in Dubai, I'm talking about UAE, or to a certain extent the region, nobody would consume medicines made locally. Or those who are of Indian origin will bring the medicines from India, or they will buy the one which were sold here, were predominantly European products or US product. Today, if you go, most of the molecules or the products are produced locally, and people are taking it confidently because of the good quality production locally. So there is a big change in acceptance of the made in UAE products across the region. 20 years ago, this was not the case because the regulatory standards were weak, the technology available was not there. Today, that investment, the technology, everything exists.
And a quick word on technology before our time is up. And Namit, you know, we're focusing very much on pharmaceuticals here. We're talking about manufacture. A little word on digital health, because increasingly our health responses are coming digitally. Some of the solutions are coming digitally. Is there enough focus on that as well in these partnerships and in this sphere?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. We have been trying to identify. So what we identified is that the pharmaceutical business is particularly divided into two formats. One, it starts from the diagnostics, like you have to diagnose a disease, and then it falls into a treatment segment. So digitalization can happen very quickly, and it is happening onto the diagnostic side. So there is a prescriber, there is a doctor who has to prescribe a particular medicine and a particular symptom according to the diagnostic tools. Now digitalization has made a good inroads as far as the diagnostics is concerned. So it has become easier for a prescriber to target a medicine for a particular disorder. Now, when it comes to pharmaceutical industry, out of diagnostics, then what we need to do is now any new drug, any new product or any new indication or off-label indication has to be tested upon a human population. And generally a new product like vaccine will take at least 10 years to launch in the commercial space. But we saw COVID, what happened in COVID. We were able to launch or introduce a product within 1 year of time frame. Why does this happen?
Timeline shrink.
Yeah, because of the digitalization, because of the artificial intelligence, we were able to mimic action of a drug on a human body within a shortest possible time frame. This is going to enhance further. And this is how we foresee that new launches, new innovations, new trials will get facilitated, and the access to medicine, newer medicine, would become much faster than it used to be maybe 10 years back.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Our time is up, sadly. But as I said, a reminder, this is just a little snapshot of the discussions that you can have. Please connect with any of our speakers throughout the day, indeed the 2 days. Over lunch, over coffee, please do network and contact. This really just setting the stage for some of the discussions that you may have. And a reminder too, if you're watching online anywhere in the world, you can continue that conversation with the hashtag IGFUAE. So please show your thanks to my panelists. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ben.